Hello and welcome to the latest devlog of the Far Cry 5 level editor, creating the Far Cry custom outpost. So, um, if we remember what happened last time we worked on exterior, uh, world building and props, and tried getting as much of the cave done, which is now sorted. Um, if we remember last time, we came up across an issue error in relation to clipping and stuff like that. In order to fix it, obviously we had issues tracking down which assets were clipping, so the way to figure that out, we just go into the options for the map, in the map tools, go to validation. Now, these yellow ones are okay, and green ones. However, there were some red ones, and if you directly click on those, it would just take you straight to so for example, if I click X on this, it takes me directly to the floor here. So that was essentially the fix. So I did that. Didn't take me too long to get that done, and then I worked on getting the rest of the cave stuff sorted, which now functions quite well. So the last main bulk of the level design is required in this middle section. So once we populate this with certain things, we're good to go. Then next steps will be I'll probably look a little further into light and make sure that the lights are used properly to light up the scene, see if I can figure that out. If not, I'm not going to worry too much since the normal lighting is already decent enough. It's more just for a visual aid and affordance. It would be nice. Potentially, I'll look into okay. Um, just a second. So I'm assuming I can use this for the lighting, which is actually pretty good to know. Because then we actually have a way to do lighting. Let's see. This doesn't seem to actually increase the radius intensity at all. Oh, there we go. Yes, so this could come in handy for my lighting section. Probably to do with these little flame braziers and stuff. I'll probably use them for lighting and so on. And then maybe I'll look into some of this audio stuff. Sound point. However, I won't worry too much about these. However, as we can see, we've got a good idea of what the next steps will be. And then after lighting and sounds, we're going to look at um, throwing in enemies finally into this level. Uh, Once enemies are done, hopefully this will be done within halfway through the week or so. And then Either I'll take a little bit of a break, focus on documentation, and then finally finish off with maybe some scripted elements, such as some conditions. For instance, trying to create a condition where the player has to go to this blood dragon to actually finish it off. So let's start with this. So obviously we've got the interior for quite a few of these houses to do. I'm not sure if we have to do all of them. So we've got the interior to this one, that one's already done, that's done. We don't have to do these. Okay, I would say we've got about five interiors potentially to do, which isn't too bad. And then the exterior to this. So we're going to start off with the exterior. Uh, Now, as for this, I'm going to likely use just some basic wall elements to kind of block off view the pathway, because obviously this is a zombie outpost, so there's not going to be any long range style enemies, so there is no need to worry about using barricades and stuff that the player can hide behind, as it's not required, unless you can face off against zombies stealthily. I'm not too sure whether they just sense you when you're near them or so on. So we're going to start with likely this side and then work our way to the other side. So likely we want something over here. Um, let's see what comes up when we go for wall. Nice, so we can use some ruin walls and so on. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Sure. So we'll likely just kind of populate some of the scenery with some different walls. That's going to be the main focus for the time being. And then where there's going to be props, now this way we'll have the exterior somewhat populated, battery. While we make sure to keep an eye out for. Yeah, I do remember I was actually going to do that. Throw in some barbed wire elements. But likely gonna do is add some walls just so the player can't access this without going from either the bridgeways or under the cave or over the walls using the helicopter. And this will just make it feel a lot more like some kind of base or outpost, a lot more secure. What I may do is actually use some of these walls as obstacles. Go. So let's keep on going with the progression of the exterior. Now the memory is going up, so I need to be careful. Okay. This gives a purpose to the player to okay, perfect. So now we've got this kind of secured. So now it just feels a lot more like an outpost. So if we explore inside, okay. So of course, the player can use these as cover. And the player can't climb over these, which is good. Yes, that's one thing I was actually going to do is I'm still a little confused as to why the stairs for this building do not reach the floor. It's definitely strange. Um, So let's just search for a floor. Okay, there we go. So back to this. This is enclosed now, which is a good sign. I've got about 34, 40 minutes of this video. So as long as I get at least the exterior stuff done, then we can move on to the buildings later on. That'll be perfect. So, what else? Let's continue with walls and see what else is available. Um, Props? No. Exterior. Boxes. Yeah, so we definitely want some kind of crates to illustrate that this was a stronghold with supplies. We definitely want some static vehicles. this is where they would have archery practice as well. There we populate the exterior with a few of those. Maybe logs as well would be nice to show that they were saving up resources, which can go near the church. And then there's some scattered ones because they had to flee. So now that we've got that, let's get some bodies. Okay. And we know that a bunch of people died. And then we'll get some bushes and trees. And we've reached the 52% for objects in the scene. So now when we go to explore, this should feel a lot more densely populated now. Yeah, this is a lot better now. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust that light source there. However, for the most part, this is looking good now. With where we want it. Now, let's just quickly move this. Okay, there we go. Nice. So now that we kind of got this middle section populated, what do we need next? So what I'm gonna do is fill in the sheds first, because that's not gonna take long. Once the sheds are filled, we are going to then probably do this main building, and then the rest will be done in another video. And in the next one, we'll finish off the rest of these. Yeah, I think that is the game plan. So, sheds, yes. So what did we do with the other shed? What did we add? So this one should have at least... Okay, this one has what ammo? Now this one should have a weapon. Yes, this has the sniper. And then, is this a shed? No, the shed is this way. And this has an M16. So what other type of weapons do I want to add? There's a good chunk of them will be in the loadouts. I'm not going to mess around with it. Maybe some kind of rocket launcher with limited ammo would be nice. Now, as for custom weapon loadouts, I'm going to do these in my own time. Without recording, likely. And then I'll talk about the design decisions. Likely, I've already done the assault class. I'll probably stick with the stealth class. I likely won't have a melee class. So I'll have a stealth, then I'll have probably just a default assault class, and then maybe an entirely special weapon based class, and then leave it at that. So for weapons, I want to add at least 2 different weapons. Gameplay, weapons, ammo. So you've got a rifle, we've got an LMG, special weapon. Well, I do want to put a launcher, and then potentially an SMG and a shotgun. So, ammo, it would have to be some special rocket ammo. Now for this one, we'll have SMG, and then maybe an MP40, and then for ammo, we just add an ammo pickup. And then since I'm limiting the amount of heals the player can pick up, since in Far Cry you can heal, without heals, this will be one of 2 locations where the player can get heals from. And also give the player an opportunity to get some arrows in case they decide to use the arrow loadout. shotgun. And then we just add 2 medkits. Perfect. So we've nearly reached the 90% for the memory. We gotta be careful with how much we use. I'm just quickly going to save this map. So once the buildings are done, we'll go to the other part. I think the furthest I'm willing to peak is 95. But I want to see how much you get from actually spawning some enemies. So if I was to spawn... Ah, okay. It seems like there's not really too much of a issue as to using enemies for memory purposes. I do have to see the kind of enemies and what they actually do. Oh, okay. Okay, that's bad. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to add that many enemies into this level. Let's see how many we can throw in. Okay, so let's see, how many enemies is this? Outpost. 24. Okay, so from the looks of it, I'm not going to mess around with the lights and sound, just because of how much it takes to use just enemies in general. Is there any more enemies? Well, so a single enemy actually counts as a lot when it comes to storage. Uh, let's save. So how long do I have? So we've reached a decent marker. So I'm assuming for the time being, we'll leave it there. In the next one, I'm going to be doing all the interiors that I can. So that likely won't be too much. It'll be just so there's something actually inside these buildings for some storytelling. So that's one, two, obviously these. So that's three. Uh, three. So one, two, three, four. About four interiors to do, which won't take too long. And once that's done, we're going to go into the enemies. And then some scripting elements. So thank you for watching the latest devlog of the development process. And I will be seeing you in the next one where we're going to do interiors for the middle section of the outpost, then enemies, and until we're done with the level.